The man rune, the rune of death, which in time will replace the cross in the graveyards of the SS. Study of the runes is required of all SS officers. Of the many strange and mystical symbols which have found a place in the new order of National Socialism, one dominates all others. Guido von List called the swastika the twice-high holy secret of constant generation. He recounts a Nordic tale in which the god Mundel Fiore whisks the cosmos into being. The swastika is the fire whisk, the very act of creation. A Nazi hymn proclaims, "The time of the cross is gone now. The sun whisk shall arise. And so with God we shall be free at last and gift our people back their honor." By 1909, the occult visions of Guido von List have made him famous throughout the German-speaking lands. To List, every stream, hill and forest in Austria was associated with a Germanic god or spirit. In the devices of heraldic shields, in the beams of Austrian houses, in folk customs and rituals, List claimed to see evidence that Austria was and always had been part of the German homeland. For 2 generations, German-speaking Austrians had looked to Germany for reassurance and a sense of identity. But events were about to occur which would place in doubt the very future of the fatherland itself. 1914, the Great War. For the first time in history, the might of industry is unleashed on the battlefield. Nothing could have prepared the peoples of Europe for slaughter on such an unimaginable scale. As the war grinds on and casualties mount, frontline soldiers on both sides of no man's land take to the wearing of charms and amulets. In the ranks of Germans and Austrians, the most popular of all magic talismans is the swastika. The swastika medallions and amulets worn in the trenches of the Great War are based on the researches of Guido von List. By now, an influential and wealthy society devoted to the teachings of the master has already been formed in Vienna. It is the List Society, which supplies designs to the manufacturers of swastika talismans. The swastika, now spreading amongst the German armies, is fast becoming the emblem of militant German nationalism. But since 1908, it had acquired another, even more ominous meaning. Shortly before the outbreak of the Great War, List had incorporated the occult teachings of Madame Helena Blavatsky into his own German mythology. Now he no longer refers to ancient Germans or Teutons. Instead, the tribes who populate his visions he names Aryans. In Madame Blavatsky's writings, the Aryans are the race of upward spiritual evolution, the race whose sign is the swastika. In Hitler's Mein Kampf, the meaning of the swastika to the Nazi party is made clear. In the swastika, he writes, "We see the mission for the struggle for the victory of Aryan man."
Man kann nicht dem untreu werden, was einem ganzen Leben Inhalt, Sinn und Zweck gegeben hat. Es wird nicht so etwas aus nichts, wenn diesem Werden nicht ein großer Befehl zugrunde liegt. Und den Befehl gab uns kein irdischer Vorgesetzter, den gab uns der Gott, der unser Volk geschaffen hat.
By the 1930s and the great Nazi rallies at Nuremberg, the concept of the Aryan has become a cornerstone of the party's mystical ideology.
An diesem Abend, in jeder Stunde, an jedem
The grand design for the Aryan state has already existed for over 20 years. Its author was Guido von List.
Nation, unser deutsches Volk Sieg ein! Sieg ein! Sieg ein!
In the slaughter and misery of the Great War, the writings of Guido von List assume greater and greater significance for the soldiers of the German and Austrian armies. To List, the Great War is the conflict which will purge the world of evil and herald a new age. Democracy and materialism will be destroyed on the battlefields of Europe. Victory will usher in an Aryo-German empire. By 1911, List had already described in detail his vision of the future Germanic state. It will be a strict hierarchy in which leaders will be obeyed without question. It will be patriarchal, with full rights only for the male heads of families. Only Aryans will be entitled to citizenship. There will be strict laws to ensure the purity of the race. Every family will keep a record of its ancestry as proof of its Aryan blood. By 1918, the conflict which List called the holiest war had cost the lives of 2 million Germans. That same year, the German armies had won a series of